Welcome back, family and friends. Excited to bring this conversation to you, and we're going to jump right in. Again, just a disclaimer, I enjoy bringing conversations about civics, emotional intelligence, diplomacy, especially between and around the subject of the United States, its allies, and uh, African diaspora or African countries. And so, why? It's just something that's always been unique to me. There's no right or wrong into what anyone covers. Everyone has their own passions, interests, skill sets, and interests. And in addition to that, at the end of the day, I just want to stand in agreement on peace, prosperity, success, abundance, and love for you, your loved ones, and your healing if you need some, like I need some. And we're all learning and growing here. Excuse me. We're all learning and growing here. And thank you for your patience for me as I do for you, as we all try to walk as best we can with standard quality for ourselves and our neighbors. So, with that being said, I'm always looking to uplift. These are conversations that are designed to stimulate minds, stimulate conversation. Excuse me, and see if things can continue to work for good. And I say that hopefully not out of ignorance, respectfully. And so, before we get started in this conversation, and we're jumping into Hades today, in this conversation, excuse me again, I want to, let's see, I want to just shout out, let's see, I'm going to go to my last video of Hades. One of my last video that I did with Hades, this was about, according to this video, 10 days ago, and it's really picking up traction. And what I really want to do in this particular, take some time out, I want to shout out. I want to shout out Michelle. What's it? Michelle 446 for the recommendation and doing some research through the link. It's very insightful, and it gives me a better understanding of what I'm presenting. I need to always fact check myself. But and in addition to that, I just thank you all for listening and love and just giving me information so we can jump into it. So if you want me to click the link and jump into what Michelle 446 was talking about in relation to Hades and the conflict that's going on, respectfully, put in the comments. Put in the comments. Put in the comments, learn more. We'll do that. Put in the comments, learn more, and I will do so. And so, with that being said, shout out again, Michelle. Thank you for your comment. And here we go with the article. And we're just keeping up with with what's going on in the country. Just like to be a voice and help spread awareness about, again, countries in Africa. And Hades is one. I follow a lot of what's going on in Sudan as well. And so we're going to jump right into this article. Shout out to WLRN, PBS, NPR for covering, empowering this particular article. I want to shout out Tim Paget. Excuse me for mispronouncing your last name, Tim Paget, with WLRN Public Media for creating this awesome article. I haven't read it, so but I wanted to make sure I saved it for us to look at together. Excuse me. As Haiti's gangs take control, another plague erupts: sexual violence. What comes to your mind when you hear that? Commercial break, me please. Shout out to Joe T. Baker, jtb3.org, J as in Joe, T as in Tom, B as in Baker, the numerical number 3, jbt3.org. And follow his work. Very inspiring story, perseverance, and changing lives. And so he says, commercial break me in his stories. I don't know where he got it from, but I was inspired to do it. And so commercial break me on that. What comes to your mind as Haiti's gangs take control, another plague erupts, sexual violence? I feel that when there's really no type of process or system, challenges will arise. Check out the article. I mean, feel free to listen to the video, watch the video. Respectfully, I'll go ahead and say this here. A woman who did not want to give her name at a clinic near Port-au-Prince, Haiti, in 2023 after her husband was kidnapped and killed by a criminal gang. Its member gang raped her and forced her to flee her home. And this is why I just driven or drawn to speaking for something that may not be really recognized or in the public stream. If there's any resources that can help create order and peace in that situation, please reach out to the proper you know authority, if you will, proper decision makers. If not, feel free to send me a comment or a message, and I'll as far as what you feel you can bring to the table, and I'll see what I can do to help serve as a mediator for that. We go to the article. While the world has become sadly familiar with the rampant murders, kidnappings, and hijackings that gangs have inflicted on Haiti in recent years, rights groups warn another form of terror is escalating there: sexual violence. This week, the international nonprofit Human Rights Watch released a report on what it calls the horrific sexual abuse that Haiti's women and girls are suffering at the hands of the powerful criminal gangs that control much of the country today. It says some 4,000 women and girls have reported being raped by gang members just this year. And those victims, it adds, have little, if any, police protection or medical and social services to turn to, especially now that the gang violence has all but overwhelmed police forces there and forced international aid workers and health volunteers to leave the country. Commercial break me, please. Please fact check me. I don't know if this was the same article in regards to the gangs here, and I believe, let me see if it's in my description. I want to say, if I'm not speaking out of ignorance, that there we go for jtb3.org as far as Joe T. Baker. I want to say Kenya was there. Let me not speak out of ignorance and see what my research says. Forces, which was just that. Okay, so I think, if I'm not speaking out of ignorance, fact check me please, but I believe there was a situation where decisions were made to bring in, I think it was Kenya's police to add to it, to add to the force to combat the gangs, if you will. And I believe, if I'm not speaking out of ignorance, Russia and China has suggested external external intervention necessary. So yeah, so Russia and China was saying that, is it necessary for outside forces to come in for this to be taken care of, when it could be just a national thing that needs to be, compared to outside forces coming in, and I believe the forces that were coming in to assist, I believe, if I'm not speaking out of ignorance, was Kenya. And this is why, again, I just stand in agreement for everyone's peace and safety, lives. You have family and children and generations. And again, I don't know how it all works to a degree, but I stand in agreement for peace and for an opportunity for everyone to be their best self and to provide their best self for the next person. No one's perfect. Don't get me wrong. We all fall short, if you will. And so, but if we all have accountability for ourselves, that's almost half the battle. Because I can have accountability for myself to do what I'm supposed to do to make my life and your life easier. We can work everything else out, per se. So with that, I speak peace and union, if you will. And so going back, so again, it looks like that they were saying back to the article, uh, the the police are overwhelmed and forced international aid workers and health workers to leave the country. So the aid can't stay there. The aid, AID, can't stay there. The police force is overwhelmed, and so there's really less security, if you will, for the weak and innocent at the minimum, and it's not looking good. You know, let me just continue on with the article. In the HRW report, which is the Human Rights Watch report, a 25-year-old Haitian mother of four tells of being gang raped in Port-au-Prince, Cité Soleil district by four men she said were from the GPEP gang. They didn't used to do this, she told HRW investigators, but now they do it whatever they want. Now they do whatever they want to women and girls there. And especially disturbing. Well, let me stop right there because I'm just thinking out loud. If you're a father, husband, brother, nephew, cousin, grandfather, at the minimum, and anything on both sides of genders, you don't want to dismiss that. And this is why I want to just bring this stuff up. It's essential that this is being discussed, and it's essential that efforts are being made to find common ground. Very broad to say. But this is why I appreciate individuals like Michelle 446, I believe, and others that are giving me information. We're figuring this out together, if you will. If nothing else, stand in agreement as far as just grace to cover and to move forward. And easier said than done. Then you got to go through healing. I mean, this could happen to any, no one. This is life, So respectfully. So continuing, and especially just, I hope I'm not repeating myself. An especially disturbing point in the report is that, according to the United Nations, sexual violence cases involving minors has increased 1,000% this year. Human Rights Watch, Human Rights Watch calls on the international community to commit more funding to the crisis, but it acknowledges there is too little security or service infrastructure there to use it. And this is what we had talked about, I believe, during the last article that I did regarding Hades, and how, that security piece. I think at the time that people from, different personnel from the embassies were leaving. That's your, respectfully, your government, if you will. You really want to be able to govern yourself, but it is great to have a body of individuals that can come and protect and serve in an integral way. And so when you have a lack of those that are protecting and serving respectfully, it's just rough. And so when there's not enough protecting and service, infrastructure can't be repaired to even get aid anywhere, So where's the end goal? What's the end game here? What is the end game in regards to, do you challenge infrastructure so much that the change that you wanted has been made, but it's going to be extremely difficult for growth moving forward, and then buy-in from the people, because it's still going to be people, but it's going to be hard for growth infrastructurally. To the more you destroy, the harder, the more challenging it may be to, I'm not speaking out of ignorance, to build with little finance, little security, to even do those things. And yeah, let me know what you think. Hope I'm not rambling. In Hades, and this here says read more. I just want to throw it out there. In Haiti, a grim barometer. Even United Nations workers are fleeing. And it goes back. So click that link too if it's there when you're clicking the link to review the article. So it is Kenya led. Here we go back to the article. The Kenya led UN or United Nations authorized multinational security support mission sent to assist Haiti's belligerent national police has so far been overwhelmed by the gangs it was expected to confront, if not neutralize. So, respectfully to the Kenyan forces who have been authorized to serve as support for security are overwhelmed as well. And I'm speaking, I know families in Kenya are trying to like, I want my family member to come home safely. So where is the end game? Help me find, if anyone knows that or there's any type of links or anything, let me know. What does the end game look like, for the chaos, respectfully? And the gangs, back to the conversation, the article, and the gangs have now forced even the United Nations, as well as the international medical nonprofit Doctors Without Border, to withdraw their personnel from Haiti this week. That is horrible news. If there were any kind of aid that was integrally happening, that hurts everybody. And I know Doctors Without Borders, I'm not sure they're integral practice. I'm assuming they are. They have been all over from what I know, they've been very, very respectable brand all over the world, globally, pitching in. And that is that they're having to withdraw. International medical nonprofits who are not even in the mix, but they have to, you should have, just that's where what is the end game? Because now you really got to lean on the very people that are being turmoiled and challenged. I don't see buy-in from that. And we have to talk about healing to even get buy-in. We got to talk about healing in so many ways. This is going to affect possibly generations for. Haiti's, back to the article, Haiti's government, meanwhile, is even more disarray after the transitional presidential council fired interim Prime Minister Gary Conile this month. I was not aware of that. Let me repeat that. Haiti's government, meanwhile, is in even more disarray after the transitional presidential council fired interim Prime Minister Gary Conile this month. He has been replaced by Haitian businessman Alex. Excuse me if I mispronounce your name, sir. Uh, Alex Didier Felice Ami. Forgive me. Let me just see we want to see what pops up real quick. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So if you want to do a separate short video on respectfully Alex, put in the comments, Alex, Mr. Alex Dier, Felice. I mean, looks French naturally. So, I would love to. I need to expand my culture, my horizons. Um, Entrepreneur, um, Boston University School of Management, location Hades. Would love to connect with them. See if we can connect. Respectfully, get the prime minister, the new prime minister, interim prime minister, on the podcast. Respectfully, if he has time. I know it's a lot going on, or even someone from the prime minister's office, but I was not aware of that. Back to the article. See what comes out after that with the businessman and what new strategies could progress. Back to the article. Haiti's gangs have exploited that chaos to mount new offenses and gain more turf. That makes sense. So you have individuals fleeing, security coming in that's overwhelmed. Then you have leadership transition going on. That's when you have those organizations on the other side exploiting, taking advantage, respectfully. So they've also become, back to the article, they've also become more brazen, firing at commercial U.S. flights, trying to land at Port-au-Paul's Toussaint Louverture International Airport. At least 3 airliners were hit by bullets earlier this month, including a Spirit airline flight from Fort Lauderdale. Wow. And shout out to Spirit. A flight attendant was injured in that incident. Wow. Okay. It's a different level. It's a different level. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has banned U.S. flights to Haiti until at least next month. Toussaint Louverture remains closed, though airports in northern Haiti reopen this week. And that's the end of the article. First thing I want to do, and I say this in the most general, but also the most effective and efficient way I can, an agreement on safety, health, peace, protection, race to the people involved in that experience. And I stand in agreement on a speedy solution and am thankful for the healing that will have to transpire, you know, for this process. And I respect Haiti in regards to its influence, its leadership in regards to, you know, its independence and how, it's very historical. Haiti is a very historical area, and I know it's also very challenging there. And I don't know enough. I'm starting to do my research, if you will, through situations like this. And I thank you for sending me any kind of information that you can that will help us dive deeper into this and to help us stimulate our minds more. Let me know what you think. Oh, Tim, respectfully forgive me. Tim Paget is the American editor for WLRN, covering Latin America, the Caribbean, and their key relationship with South Florida. Contact him at his email address there. Tim, we'd love to get you on to the podcast just to pick your brain, give us some things that we may not have thought about, and leave us with some inspiring words that can help us all become better individuals as we walk and try to be the best person that we can be. So definitely want to thank you all for your time. There should be a link somewhere down there for you to donate in the amount you felt this message was worth to you. Donate, monetarily in the amount you felt this message was worth to you. Thank you so much for that. So we continue to grow and keep this going. Thank you for following, liking, subscribing, sharing this information, and of course, send me all the content and information and insight that you have so that we can dive deeper into this topic. And again, I stand in agreement for all, for everyone, and respectfully, and it's not the best, but this is why I appreciate respectfully my experience and, the type of, the order that's technically going on, even though it may not be the best order, the order that is, and so it's for that reason where I work my best every day to be the best person I can be and represent. I fall short a lot of ways, but be the best person I can be and represent for those that would love to be in a position on a geographical area that I'm in. And and so I have to. If you respectfully look at my skin color, a couple hundred years ago, a lot of stuff in the context that people may know it as today, as far as history, wouldn't be happening. So I'm very aware of trends and timing, and so when you are someone that is someone's always in a rougher position than you. Easier said than done because there's some people in some rough positions, and so we look to strive to be the best we can as individuals and to inspire ourselves and others that again are going through those truly challenging times. So thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, donating what you can, stand in agreement for your peace and success, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.